Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to the online seminar of the Robert collection related to buying real estate in Montenegro. I'm very happy that so many of you already joined. But I would like to agree before we start basically this online webinar is that you put your mics on mute. Otherwise, it's going to start echoing for everybody. And yeah, that's. I would like everybody to hear as much as possible what we have to say verbally, as well as via videos, or just me trying to explain a little bit more about buying real estate in Montenegro. Anyway, when it comes down to questions, please ask the questions on the site. There must be a chat possibility. In that chat, you can ask us simple questions, or if you don't want to share these questions with the rest, then perhaps in a later stage, you're interested in just writing us an email and asking your specific questions related to what you would be looking for or in clarity in my online presentation. What I would like to ask you, first of all, I would like to start off this seminar with a very beautiful video, which is about a little bit more than 3 minutes long. It's really nice. That's basically also the reason why we became in love with the country we still live in, Montenegro. So please have a seat and put on the sound as well, because it's packed with a very nice sound as well. Hopefully you've enjoyed this short 3-minute introduction of Montenegro. I can say that it has a lot of variation as it's a very small country. The country is, if you're from the Netherlands, perhaps you understand that a little bit more. The combination of the country is about Zeeland and North Brabant together, and that's it. What I would like to discuss tonight is, of course, who we are, why we are here in Montenegro, and what was the reason why we basically stayed here and will still stay here for, I think, a very long time. Of course, we are quite a few years already active in the real estate market, basically investing ourselves as well as guiding potential buyers in Montenegro in that whole buying process. Of course, when you buy something in that buying process, taxes are always part of the game. And we try to explain that in this video the best we can. If you're thinking about just relocating to another country, the same we did, so we have a lot of experience in doing that, and basically ending up with what can we offer clients in this case. And please feel free in the chats to ask your questions related to real estate or whatever you actually want to ask. Potentially to give an answer or not, depending on the question, of course. But anyway, let's go to the next slide. Yeah, we came here in 2019 in Montenegro. That was at that point in time related to the fact that I was working for Dame Shipyards. They had a superyacht refit shipyard location in Montenegro, and I became the managing director of that shipyard. But anyway, quite soon that stopped because of the fact that Dame wasn't financially doing that well. We stayed here working on behalf of Dame Shipyards for another 5 years, and in 2024 I resigned from Dame Shipyards because basically what we needed to do is come back to the Netherlands, and that was not really in our interest to go back to the Netherlands. And that's, our motivation is basically has always been about the country, the pace of life we really have here. It's an international environment, especially in the area where we live, which is in Tivat, or actually to be more specific, we live in Porto Montenegro. That's also related to the fact that our kids go to school here on an international school about 200 meters away from where we live. What is important for us as the Robert collection is bring that transparency to the Montenegrin market. So our main clients are from Western Europe and USA, and being able to guide them in sometimes a little bit a cowboy world in terms of real estate in Montenegro. What is the good thing, of course, as a result of that, throughout the years, we've built up quite a significant network when it comes down to notaries, lawyers, building contractors. So we also guide big investors in Montenegro as well. Why Montenegro? Like I said, it's really the lifestyle, the combination of salt water and skiing possibilities there are as well. About 2 hours drive from where we live, there's the possibility to have your weekend ski. It's about 60 kilometers in piste in total, so it's not really for the professionals as a result of that, but we really enjoyed that. Go after school, after the kids finish from school, and then go for a few days of skiing a few times during the skiing season. What we also see happening in the 7 years we live here right now, the increasing amount of tourism in the country, and especially Western European countries, you see more and more of people, tourists, being interested in Montenegro. What is very interesting in Montenegro is, of course, the relatively low taxes compared to many EU countries. The starting level is 9% over the first 100,000 euros. in salary or capital gain, and above that it finally develops up to 15%. But that's the maximum amount of tax you pay in Montenegro. EU candidacy, yes, already for a very long time. Montenegro is trying to become part of the EU. What is expected at the moment is that Montenegro will enter the EU in 2028, yeah, let's wait and see. I believe they're quite on track related to all the chapters which have been opened at the moment. And one of the good things, I think, still is that Montenegro is part of NATO. So in terms of security and safety, that is organized as well. This is basically Montenegro. There are a few locations mentioned, but I would like to talk about the map basically, and that will follow with quite some pictures related to these areas. Basically, the most important and the most interesting location in Montenegro is basically the Boka Bay. Lusica Bay is also a very interesting location as well. You saw in the video already something about Žabljak and Kolašin. That's where you have the mountain escapes with skiing and ecotourism, the UNESCO heritage sites, national parks, etc. Quite a lot of UNESCO heritage sites already in this very small country. This is the Boka Bay. What you see in front of you in the first bay is the Kotor Bay. That's the city of Kotor, which is there. On an annual basis, there are around 300 to 500 cruise vessels joining there every day. It starts as of the 1st of April, so as of tomorrow, that should be happening. On the other side, you have where we live, that's Porto Montenegro. We live here in Porto Montenegro. That's development. It's development of the investment corporation of Dubai. It also has the international school as part of this big development. The total amount of marina berths is around 500 in total, which basically secures enough space if you are interested in having a boat and transport yourself easily around the bay. A boat is very helpful in that perspective. You saw that already before. This is basically, again, the Kotor Bay. You see a cruise vessel moored there. You basically get them from Tivat and you cross through a tunnel, or you go over the mountains, and then you finally arrive here in Kotor Bay. It's also a very nice area, very busy in the summer period. Of course, it's international, but if you compare, for instance, Tivat area compared to Kotor area, Tivat is more like an international environment because of the 2 international schools which are there in total. And as a result of that, when you buy real estate, those are things to take into account. Where do you want to be? Do you want to be somewhere remotely? Or do you want to be part of, Porto Montenegro, Tivat, or in the wider area of Tivat, because that's where you see a more international orientation of families. This is another development in Montenegro, which is Lusica Island. It's basically Lusica Bay. In 2028, there should be a 19-hole golf course. At the moment, there is a driving range and 3 holes in total. In October, there will be in total 6 holes. And like I said, it will complete finally up to in 2028 in 18 golf courses. As said, skiing is quite a possibility. That's about where we live, 2.5 hours drive to Colossian. Like I said, it's an area of, in total, 60 kilometers. There are quite some developments in that area ongoing in terms of hotels, villas, chalets, etc. All these kind of things are being developed. In due time, this area should be around 250 kilometers in skiing area. And at the moment, they just decided, it's just from the Colossian village. There's going to be an 8-kilometer cable course or cable track towards the skiing area. So there's no hassle anymore with parking. You just step into your gondola and being transported to the skiing location. This is a very nice, other beautiful area in Montenegro. If you would visit Montenegro, it's a very important area. You see most of the time people visiting where we live, Boka Bay. People will also go to Žabljak. This is an example, a very beautiful picture of the Black Lake. Also in this area, quite a few projects are starting to develop as well. We have a few, of course, on our website, the Robert Collection website. We have a few chalets, etc. for sale there. This is perhaps very well known. This is Sveti Stefan, which is close to Budva, a very high-end hotel chain. Basically, only the rich and ultra-rich are able to have a stay here because, yeah. Anyway, it's I will not spend too much time on it because it's, for me at least, not within my pocket to go here and be here. Anyway, a little bit about the Montenegro market. Basically, the key investments areas we see at the moment is where we live. That's the Tivat area, which became basically as a result of Porto Montenegro, which is in Tivat. It's part of the Tivat municipality as one of the most expensive areas to buy something. And pricing, you can always say, is related to the distance of your house or your apartment, whatever you want to buy, related to Porto Montenegro. Porto Montenegro itself is starting price around 8,000 euros, entry price per square meter. On average in Tivat, it's around 4,000 euros. If you come closer to Porto Montenegro, prices increase to 5,500, 6,000 euros. A little bit cheaper area, but also very busy. Actually, it's the most busiest area in the summer season is Budva, with nice beaches, hotels, restaurants, casinos, etc. Quite a lot of activities are happening there. Really great to hang out, to be, etc. Podgorica is the capital of Montenegro. There are basically two airports. One is in Podgorica, which is a very nice one, a big one with quite a good international connections, as well as Tivat. So it's basically from our house about a 10-minute drive to go to the airport, and especially in the summer season, quite some good connections in Europe as well. But as you see, Podgorica is basically the cheaper side of Montenegro, and Tivat is the most expensive side of Montenegro, together with the other developments, Porto Montenegro. Porto Novi is another big development, as well as Lucica Bay. They're all more or less around the 8,000 to 10,000 euros per square meter stepping pricing. When it comes down to property prices, yeah, you see basically, as I said, a continuous increase in visits to Montenegro from many countries. You see more and more people from the UK, also permanent residences here as well. More people from the Netherlands and many other countries from the EU are deciding to, or at least buy a second, third, fourth home, whatever your capabilities are, until permanent living here in Montenegro. When you see what's happening in general in the Western Balkans, pricing is significantly increasing through all the area in the Western Balkans. It becomes more and more interesting, as well as the climate. The climate is, of course, one of the major reasons why we stayed there, as well as the pace of life here in Montenegro. When it comes down to the most visited areas, one of them is Budva. Budva is in top when it comes down to the West Balkan, and yeah, Budva is the major stay basically here in Montenegro. There's quite a difference, you see more people Budva, people who are and tourists who are more interested in going to the beach. If you will compare it with Porto Montenegro and that area around Boca Bay, it's a little bit more expensive, and you see different people wanting to buy something in Tivat versus people buying something in Herceg Novi or other places in Montenegro as well. I think because of the fact that EU is coming close, whether they like it or not, perhaps this is all, and the price increase you see as well. We already had that price increase quite significantly in the wartime, and still ongoing, 2022 until 2024. Pricing doubled, sometimes tripled here in Montenegro in terms of pricing per square meter, as well as the rental rates increased significantly. But I do think that this is the pre-EU entry time. When Montenegro becomes part of the EU, prices will further increase. General trends, basically. What I said already, prices starting to grow. That's when we first bought our house in 2020. Quite a few EU countries, UK and US buyers are active here in the market. There's a high demand for apartments. Most of them, what do you want to buy? If it's your second or your third home, most of the time it's just enough to have a one-bedroom apartment, or there are areas where there are very nice villas being constructed if your budget is quite a bit higher. It is quite difficult to get a good location. It's not just due to the beauty of the country, but it's Crna Gora in Montenegrin language, which basically means Black Mountains. And Black Mountains basically says there is not much flat land, and as a result of that, every house or every apartment, whatever it is, needs to be built against a very steep mountain, and that basically limited the supply of primo coastal locations. When it comes down to being active here in Montenegro as a real estate agent, there's no exclusivity. And what I would recommend to everybody who's interested in buying real estate in Montenegro, just make sure that you select one real estate agent, because if you have a few, my colleague real estate agent from 2 kilometers away most likely have a few other same offers as we do. So I think it's very important, when you are interested in buying real estate in Montenegro, just select one real estate agent, and together with this real estate agent, you're going to go that route of selecting the right property with the right recognition as what you would be looking for. And of course, we can assist you in that whole process. How does the buying process work? Like I said, you reach out to us. What we most of the time do before you arrive in Montenegro, we would like to have a video discussion. If not possible, share as much as possible with us via email or WhatsApp, so we clearly understand what you're looking for, what your budget is, and location is, of course, very important. most of the time, when we've sorted that all out and we came to basically a right set of demands, we will organize a short trip. The potential buyer flies over here, and then we have a few days of viewing various possibilities, fitting, of course, the requirements which hopefully have been defined in the right and the correct way. When there's a decision being made, of course, you can make an offer. Of course, an offer is an offer, and you can discuss that. That's what we will do on your behalf. One of the important things here in Montenegro is make sure that the real estate is checked, because there's quite some illegal houses at the moment. They were already for a long time, but quite recently the rules and regulations changed to that, and as a result of that, basically it's more difficult or basically impossible to sell illegal real estate, and hopefully that situation will be solved in the next 24 months. But of course we can guide you with that. That's basically what we have. We have the network with the right lawyers to support you in that due diligence. We have, if needed, set up a company if you want to buy a piece of real estate with a company. Of course, we know the right accountant in order to get that process ongoing. When you would be looking for instance, that's a later talk, but anyway, a residence permit, most of the time the accountancies also have other tasks, which is, of course, getting a residence permit as well. Most of the time you sign here in Montenegro some kind of a reservation or a pre-sales contract against a certain non-refundable down payment, and then of course you get some time to get yourself organized in terms of the financing you need. Forget about financing in Montenegro, to be honest. It's perhaps a very blunt comment of me, but it's basically impossible. You regularly see with clients coming from abroad, they have existing real estate. Hopefully for them, they have overvalue on that real estate, and as a result of that, most of the time in those countries, there are banks who are willing to provide them if the collateral is, of course, significant enough to provide them with another mortgage, or you just have the savings. That can also be the case, of course. Finally, what we sometimes do, we sign a power of attorney, which is part of the possibilities of what we can do for our clients. So we can sign basically on behalf of our clients. But finally, everybody needs to go to the notary. It can't be done on distance. So if you want to sign yourselves, you really need to be yourselves here at the notary. Things need to be taken care of, like a translator. So basically, in front of the notary, you will be read in English most of the time, the Montenegrin drafted contract. After you've bought your piece of real estate, it needs to be registered in the cadastre under your name, and of course, payment needs to be completed before it's finally going to be in the cadastre in your ownership. What are on average the costs involved in terms of buying real estate? Of course, the purchase price. What I would like to add on that in terms of the purchase price, there's quite regularly there's a significant down payment especially if you're talking about a new build contract. Minimum 20 to 30% is basically the minimum requirement, and then along the building process you can buy the remaining amount. What you can also do is pay at once most of the time related to a new building project. Then you get quite a discount. Of course, negotiation is always possible. But anyway, when you've basically defined the purchase price, you need to pay transfer tax. That's what we know basically in every country, but in this case it's only to existing real estate. The property transfer tax. If you buy something new from a developer, there's no transfer tax involved. Of course, you need to pay notary fees. That's, you know, depending on the price level you buy against, around 500 to 1,000 euros. That's more or less it. Lawyer fees, if you want to use a lawyer, we always recommend that to our clients. Just let the last checks being done by a lawyer. 500 to 1,000 euros as well, when it comes down to including a lawyer in that process. Translator fees are around 50 to 60 euros on average. Yeah, real estate agent commission. We get paid out of our people who are listing properties with us. And you see the percentage on average we earn depending on the listing client on our website. And there are minor administrative fees for registration and other services. Like I said, the property transfer tax needs to be paid within 15 days after basically having done the complete payment of the property. It's a progressive tax rate applied on the market value of the property as follows. It's 3% up to 150,000 euros. Between 150 and 500,000 euros, you're talking about 5%. And above 500 euros, it's 6%. And as I mentioned already before, if you buy something new, there's no transfer tax involved at all. Rental income, basically in general, you can say is that a rental income is around 6 to 8%, and that's basically the base case. To be honest, what you see here in Montenegro is a lot of people coming during the summer season, where you have, of course, very very short-term rentals, maximum week, 2 weeks, depending on your travel plans, of course. But if you have the possibility, or depending on the area, if there are people who are interested in longer-term rentals because, you know, they stay for 2 years or 3 years somewhere, and you see that regularly here in the Tivat area, a little bit less in Budva, a little bit more in Herceg-Novi and Kotor. It all depends your rate of return on investment, basically on the area. I do think that just on an ROI on rental income, 10% is easy achievable. And if you take into account the last 5 to 6 years price per square meter increase, which has been on average between 10 and 15%, I think you make good money on your investment on an annual basis. And that's what we've been doing as well for ourselves. Buying, selling, in order to increase, you know, our ROI. In essence, you pay 15% tax on your net rental income. So again, 6 to 8% is net rental income. So that's actually what you're gonna get paid on your bank account. There are quite some cost deductions related to you know, the amount of money you need to spend in order to keep your apartment or your house up to date. It also depends a little bit if you are in short-term or long-term rental, then you have more cost deductions as a result of that. But on effective tax rate is around 10.5%. The tax filing is on an annual basis and must, as well, as a result of that, being paid annually. And the local surtaxes may apply depending on the municipality. That's very variant between various locations, municipalities in the whole of Montenegro. There are, of course, residency options in Montenegro. I would like to leave this very short, this possibilities. The rules have just been changed. There's a difference if you are from the EU or not from the EU. and as a result of that, that makes a difference in terms of the 150,000 euros. You can have a residence permit based on a DOO, which is just a company. There's quite recently there's a possibility for digital nomads, for basically remote workers with foreign income, and that's valid for in total 4 years. So you can extend the 2 years up to in total 4 years. You see that more and more, is that if people do not need to live in their home country, most of them are trying to find a more attractable country in terms of climate as well as tax regime. If you haven't organized that in another way yet, I do think that Montenegro is quite an interesting tax regime. Or you get hired by a local company in Montenegro. When you want to finally apply after 5 years for a permanent residence, there's quite some rules and regulations attached to that. But I always say, okay, if that's of interest to you to get a residence permit, hire somebody who can completely organize that residency on your behalf. What can we offer? Well, we offer quite a lot. So basically, our goal is to guide our clients in a successful buy of real estate in Montenegro, and hopefully always they're happy and they still want to talk to us, which still happened until now. Everybody has been happy in terms of what we have been able to do, and that's of course a combination of what we have as listings. If we don't have it, somebody else has it, and as a result of that, we just want to be, especially for Western European people, USA, who arrive here in Montenegro. I think it's sometimes nice to have a Western European person guiding them in that whole process. For most of the people, it's quite a lot of money they want to spend in a country they perhaps don't know yet that well. Our network is quite significant, big enough to guide you in the very best way in achieving your goals in terms of owning your second or third or fourth real estate possibility. Like I said, the support, legal checks are important, due diligence related to especially existing real estate. And because of the fact we have experience ourselves, we can also guide investors. We have done a renovation of a villa ourselves, so we have quite some experience as a result of that, and a big network. I support as well big investment companies here in Montenegro, a few of them ongoing at the moment. So as a result of that, I also guide them through the whole process of introducing them to the right building companies. Perhaps I can organize financing as well, because of my previous job, I was quite involved in the financing sector as well. So hopefully we are able, as the Robert Collection, to offer you a complete package, and hopefully that gives you some security when you are planning to spend your well-earned money here in Montenegro. This is one of the projects we offer. It's Tivat Gardens in Tivat. What the nice thing about this project is it's very relatively close. I think about 400 meters away from Porto Montenegro, which always adds value to the price per square meter. You also see that back in the increase in terms of how the square meters are going to increase in time. It's a project which basically is just apartments. The interior is a part of it. There's of course a homeowners association, and there's going to be a rental pool as well. They ask about 25% of the rental income to be as management fee. You see that very regularly here in Tivat, Budva, and many other places in Montenegro, is that they offer that service, because you don't want to receive a phone call during the night, my fridge is not working, and you're living somewhere in the United States, or sometimes a little bit difficult to, and you don't want that perhaps to solve that from behind your phone somewhere far away. I like this project very much because of the proximity to Porto Montenegro. It has gonna have shops. It's gonna have parking garages, spa, swimming pools, etc. All these kind of things are part of this development. There are rooftop terraces if you buy a penthouse with very nice views at the sea. You know, what we regularly see clients buying in or wanting to buy in Montenegro, they are already a little bit like, oh, the prices are quite high. Yes, the prices are relatively to the area where we live, they are quite high. What we always say, if you want to have a one-bedroom apartment and you want to have sea view, minimum 200 to 250,000 euros you need in order to buy something with those kind of criteria. Have the sea view out of your from your terrace, from your living room, or from your bedroom. That's more or less the amount of money you need to bring. If that's of importance to you as a potential real estate buyer. This is another project. We have that listed recently. This is Melia in Budva. It's a big development directly on the coastline in Budva. It's going to have a casino as well. It's a very well 5-star branded residence development located on the first line, managed by a large international hotel brand. It's really coastal living and a strong investment potential here in this area. It will have, of course, the interior completely done because it's part of a hotel brand, and the apartments or the rooms or studios are going to be in the rental pool as well. There are private beaches available, so you know, in the summer season you will have an amazing time if you're looking for just a few weeks of enjoying yourself and relaxing a little bit in Montenegro. This is us. Well, you've met me already. I'm Peter Robert, the founder, CEO, together with my wife, Mirna. And quite recently, about a month and a half ago, we also hired Hannah. She's a sales agent, and one of the benefits of her, she's very experienced in sales, but as well, she speaks the Longo language very well, Serbian, Russian, which are very quite an add-on on our capabilities in terms of helping clients from multiple areas, not just Western Europe, but also focus ourselves on the eastern part of Europe. So this is more or less the end. It was hopefully a very clear and short overview of possibilities in Montenegro. Yeah, I can only say very simply, we love the country, and that's the reason why we stayed here. Although on Saturday we fly back to the Netherlands to see some family. But please feel free to open up the floor or ask your questions. I see a question coming in, which is from Hans. What are the rental options? Well, of course, there are a lot of rental options here in Montenegro, short-term, long-term. Are we, as Montenegro, as the Robert Collection, very much involved in the rental business? No, we are not. Our focus is most of the time, and basically 99% of the time, focused on selling real estate to hopefully very satisfied clients at the end. When you're looking for instance, a long-term rental, always go to the notary to register that long-term rental possibility, because otherwise you're more protected by that if you register that at the notary. You don't have these crazy rules as you have in Western Europe. If you have an apartment bought and you want to rent it out, you can put it for sale straight away. So you can rent it out, and at the same time, you can sell it as well, just as long as you put in your rental contract, if it's a long-term renter, that you need to be away from the apartment when it's sold in 3 months from when you've done the deal. I know in a few countries, Germany, the Netherlands, UK, there are crazy rules, no return on investments anymore due to that situation. It's not happening here in Montenegro. If there are other questions, please feel free to ask them. You can do that via chat, or perhaps I can open up. You can open up your mic and ask me the questions straight away. I don't see questions coming. There's Jan.
Yeah, Peter, one question, because there was also a question in the chat option. Could you share the presentation as well so that we can review the information one more time?
Yes, of course, no problem. We will do that. Also check our website, the Robert Collection, www.therobertcollection.com. That's where you find, I think, 300-400 listings in total, at least, in Montenegro. And yeah, like I said, we always try to aim together with our client to make it a successful buy here in Montenegro. And I can only say, do yourself a favor, work with one real estate agent in terms of buying something. We will take care of the rest.
Thank you. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you very much. If there are no other questions, thank you very much all for your attention, and let us know if you liked it.
Ja, Peter, kan ik een vraag stellen aan jou?
Ja, zeker.
Als je, ik noem maar wat, na 5 of 10 jaar, en je zou weer wat verkopen, wat wordt er dan belast? Of is het helemaal niet belast, omdat het onroerend goed is?
Het is wel belast, maar dat is capital gain. Capital gain op basis van wat je verdiend hebt. En dat maakt niet zoveel uit of je dat... it doesn't matter so much if you have that... Sorry, I will ask your question in English. Okay. Because we have potential clients from all over the world joining this live stream. The question was, if you buy something now and you sell it in 10 years, how should I see this real estate and the profit being, or the capital gain in that perspective being taxed? Well, you can buy it, of course, privately, and the private rates in terms of capital gain is 9% up to 100,000 euros, and above 100,000 euros, if you buy it private, it's 15%. If you buy it within a company, first of all, it's the same, 9%, and then the next phase from 100,000 euros until 1.5 million euros in capital gain is taxed against 12%, and above 1.5 million euros, it's taxed against 15%. So that's more or less the split when you buy it with a company. So you have a little bit of a benefit related to buying it in a company.
And if you have it in a company, and afterwards you want to bring it to... hoe moet je dat zeggen? Dat je het voor jezelf wilt hebben. Dus bij ons moet je dan 28, of ik weet niet eens op het ogenblik hoeveel procent dat is. Als je dus uit je BV haalt, moet je ongeveer 30% in ieder geval betalen. En dan heb je het in privé. who is
Yeah, I will translate the question. If you buy a piece of real estate with a company and then finally want to bring it to private,
Yes.
well, if you want to use it yourself, you just keep it in the company. There's no need. Our penthouse is also bought with the company, and we live in that house. We do not rent it out, and as a result of that, there's no, let's say, drive to get it out of the company and put it into private. It's the same if you buy it privately, you just keep it privately. That's what it is. There's no need, or I don't see a need, but that might be related to another tax system, which is not in Montenegro, Netherlands, UK, whatever it is, where it might be interesting to do that in due time. But those are things which, if you buy something with a company, you of course have an accountant, and the accountant can advise you here locally related to these kind of tax questions. We work together with a big Dutch accountancy here in Montenegro. They're Dutch, so they speak your language in that perspective, in order to advise you if you buy real estate here in Montenegro, how to exactly organize that. We had a previous client from Germany, basically in the same situation. How does that relate? One tax system in Montenegro related to another tax system in Germany or in the UK or in the USA or in the Netherlands. So they can advise you specifically on those topics.
Okay. I hope to visit you, and we will see what the possibilities are.
A very warm welcome.
Okay, thank you.
I've also reached, there's also a question, sorry, related to, is there a tax treaty between the Netherlands and Montenegro? Yes, there is. That was the basis of us going from the Netherlands to Montenegro. My contract, I was then working for Damen Shipyards, is of course a Dutch company, and I had to deal with the Dutch tax agency. But the benefit, there's a tax treaty, and which basically means at that time I could use the benefits of the Netherlands, so the social side of things, building up my pension. But on the other hand, I paid my income tax in Montenegro, which is, you know, nothing compared to the Netherlands in that perspective. It's nothing. So that's quite a benefit, especially if you come and work here and you're being paid by a Dutch company and you're on their payroll. Those are very nice and interesting solutions. Yeah, very beneficial. You see that more and more as well, is that people who do not need to work in the Netherlands because of the nature of their profession, they more and more decide to say, okay, I don't need to be in the Netherlands or in a specific location in the Netherlands or the UK or Germany, wherever you are, in order to get my payment. And then it's much nicer to live in a nice climate with a more tax-friendly environment, and another pace of life. And that's also what still attracts us for already quite a long time. Anyway, I don't see any additional questions related to real estate tax anyway. As a result of that, I would like to thank you very much for joining this webinar. Very happy about that you came with so many people. And, you know, if you're interested in buying real estate in Montenegro, WhatsApp us, email us, or go to our website and get in touch straight away and get you that amazing property here in Montenegro. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Hopefully see you next time, or one of the exhibitions we're planning to visit in the year to come.